Thanks for the guesses and thanks for posting the comment. Before I reveal my story, a disclaimer, please do not try this activity without any adult supervision or instructions. This is my personal story. Diving in back to my story, when me and my sister were trying a DIY science experiment at home when our mom had stepped out for a community religious service, we had a power outage for a brief moment in our neighborhood. However, this didn't stop me from doing something this kind of an activity. We tried to recreate candle. My mom had left behind the do's and don'ts instructions before she stepped out. My sister did try to warn me and remind me about it. That did not stop me because I was very, very curious towards making and recreating those candles. Now I grabbed a saucepan, turned on heat, and melted a tall, brand new white candle. It melt. My sister was standing at a distance and watching it melt while I was looking around because since I didn't have any instructions or in the instructions which said that how high the heat should be or what were the materials required for recreating them. I was running around in the kitchen. Eventually, I was not able to find or think anything. And here the wax caught on fire. That was really scary. And then I luckily turned off heat and grabbed tongs and dumped the saucepan on the floor. Now, the floor had splashed with wax all over the place, but the fire had not died down. So we were so freaked out that we yelled for our next door neighbor. She was a high schooler as well. We were lucky that she was home. And then she came over and tried to help us picking it up and putting in the sink. Now, again, that was also nothing right, but I'm so thankful that she came over. At least she did something much sensible than mine, probably. Um, and I'm sorry to my sister as well because I put her in this kind of a dangerous moment. Um, I learned a lesson on that day that eventually, the fire died down when it was kept in the sink. Um, Thanks to my neighbor who came over and helped us. And then what I learned on that day is I could have used lid to shut when I took it out of fire, took it off from the heat. I could have shut using a lid so that the fire would have died down inside with a stainless steel or a glass lid. Now, I didn't do either one of them because I was unaware. So this is what I learned a lesson on that day, that never do something without an advice from an expert, and never do at that age any kind of activity without an adult supervision. Later, my mom came home. She saw the mess which I had created, and she was pretty upset and worried, scared. All kind of emotions were all over her. She was trying to talk sense to me and my sister, but she was right all along. However, I did the mistake. Luckily, I'm really thankful for whoever was watching over us, invisibly, that nothing went wrong, and I'm so thankful for watching over me and my sister. Then we understood, especially I understood that day, that doing anything without an adult supervision was dangerous. And I promised my mom, and I did not go back any day to do those kind of dangerous mistakes. As I said, I learned a lesson on that day, and till date I do follow that. I don't try to do anything without an expert advice in whatever I am doing. I take, whether it is my health or any kind of situations I am in, I always take an expert advice. So, for all the comments, my answer is that yes, one answer was like somebody had posted, they saying that, yeah, you could have yelled for your neighbors for help. That is exactly what I did. That was a close answer. For the other comment, my mom was in a community religious service away from home, and we did not have phones in the 70s or early 80s. We did not have any phone at home. So there was no way that I could reach out to my mom or my dad. So considering this, the only thing I could do, yell for my neighbors for help. So my piece of suggestion is that do not try to do such kind of dangerous acts if you are in that age. And also, if you are doing any activity, not just this kind of activity, anything in life, try to get an expert advice. With that note, see you in my next video.